Last night, I watched that classic of cinema, The Muppets: A Christmas Carol. And seeing Ghost, Statler, and Waldorf visit Scrooge, I began to think about the story of Lazarus and the rich man, in which the rich man dies also. He begs Father Abraham to send Lazarus to visit his brothers that they might be spared the torment of hell. And Father Abraham tells him that they have Moses and the prophets. And the rich man asks again, saying that if someone were to visit them from the dead, then they would repent. To which Abraham responds, if they will not listen to Moses and the prophets, neither will they be convinced, even if someone rises from the dead. And then, whilst touring the plains of Christmases yet to come, we're shown where Scrooge discovers that Tiny Tim has died. He peers in the window and finds Miss Piggy crying in the corner and the children trying to console her. And then Kermit Cratchit comes home and tells of the burial spot on the hill where Tim can see the ducks. The family sits down to Christmas dinner, one chair empty, and Kermit tells the children something that is not in the original Christmas Carol. He says that life is made up of meetings and partings, and that they will never forget Tim or this first parting that was among us. And after I had finished crying about these Muppets, I really began to think about what Kermit had said. We don't forget the meetings and the partings that shape our lives. During Advent, we talked about grief and judgment and the hereafter, and now at Christmas, having faced our specters, we remember the partings, yes, but more so the meeting by which all other meetings are defined. As Auden says, we remember the stable, where for once in our lives everything became a you and nothing was ever longer an it. We remember the meeting in which Mary's cry of God showing the strength of his arm finds its fulfillment in the arm of her baby reaching out toward her. We remember the moment in which for us and for our salvation he came down from heaven. We remember the inflection point of time itself, when all history spoke to its beginning from its end, the Word which from the beginning was God. As Dickens himself said, it is good for children to be happy, and no time more so than Christmas, when its mighty founder himself became a child. And while seeing that empty chair with its ownerless crutch in the corner emotionally affected me in a way I had not expected from the Muppets, I nonetheless hold that if God can become incarnate, if the infinite can become finite, if the incomprehensible I am can become a face and a name spoken by the lips of sinners for 1,000 generations, if all this can happen, there may yet be hope that the chair need not remain empty. The incarnation of the Word through whom all things were made has shown us that there is no need for things to remain as they are, for he will be who he will be. And while Scrooge changed his tune after gaining a little otherworldly perspective, God will not send ghosts to us, for someone has already risen from the dead. And by his rising, he has turned all endings into new beginnings. The God who turns partings into meetings longs to meet us. Come, let us adore him.